Hello everybody and welcome back to another visual pattern challenge. Here is our pattern today. Here's step 1, here's step 2, here's step 3. Your challenge is to predict the number of red squares in step 4. If you can do that, can you predict the number in step 43? And can you write an equation that could be used to predict the number of squares in any step at all? That's the challenge. If you'd like to accept it, pause the video and see what you can do. Okay, so this looks like kind of an interesting pattern. Looks like it's growing in 2 dimensions at once. I see it getting wider and getting longer. It's got these long arms hanging off here. Seeing that it's growing in 2 dimensions at once, I'm kind of looking for squares. And what I'm noticing, actually, I'm going to change my pen color for this one. Here in step 3 is a 3x3 square. That just kind of jumped out at me. And then if I go backwards, here in step 2 is a 2x2 square, and here's a 1x1 square. So that's the place I'm going to start. And I'm thinking in step 4 we'll have a 4x4 square here, so 16 of those squares. And then we've just got these long arms on the left going down and on the right going up. And here, let's see, there's 4 and then 6 in each arm, and then 8 in each arm. So I'm guessing there's going to be 10 in this arm and 10 in this arm. So that would be 16 plus 20 is 36. So I'm thinking 36 squares in step 4. And if we want to continue with this sort of visual insight, we could try to form an equation based on this. But I think in this case, I actually want to list out the numbers in a chart and analyze them. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a quadratic, but sometimes when you arrange the numbers, it can give you an insight to an equation easier than you would just on the visual. So let's try that. So I'll make a chart with the steps and a chart with the squares. So in step 1, so that's 1 in the middle and then 4 on each side, so that's 9. And in step 2, we've got 4 and 6 and 6. 4 plus 12 is 16. And in 3, we've got 9 and 8 and 8. 9 and 16 is 25. And we're predicting 36 for step 4. So we could have worked on an equation where we looked at this x squared and then figured out a formula for these arms, but look at the numbers. We've got 9, 16, 25, 36. Those should jump out at you. Those are all perfect squares. This is 3 squared. This is 4 squared, 5 squared, 6 squared. So it looks like we've got the step number plus 2 and then square it. And I think our equation will be as simple as that. We'll take the step number, x, add 2, and then square it. And you could FOIL that out if you want to, but I'm just going to leave it like that. I think it explains these numbers really well. So x plus 2 quantity squared. And just to prove that this works, let's try it with step 2, for example. So 2 plus 2 squared. That'd be 4 squared. That's 16. That's how many there are in step 2. Here we'd have step 3 plus 2 quantity squared. That's 5 squared, 25. That's how many we have in step 3. So this equation does indeed work. And then to figure out how many in step 43, we just plug in 43 for x. So this is going to be 43 plus 2 quantity squared. So that's 45 squared, which is 2025. So there are 2025 of these red squares in step 43. Well, how did that go for you? Did you get 36 for step 4? Did you come up with an equation like this? Does yours look a little different? Did you arrive at it by looking at the numbers or by using your visual intuition? I'd love to know. Thanks, everybody.